Hey everybody, my name is Eric Kasloff and welcome to Hey, Can I Pitch You Something? So, this channel is mainly about screenwriting, but writing overall, storytelling overall. And I personally feel one of the best forms of storytelling ever created is professional wrestling. Now, on this channel, I have my reaction to CM Punk returning to AEW, which blew my mind. And again, AEW overall has been reminding me about why wrestling is so awesome. Now, I want to talk to you and pitch you a scenario for one of the best wrestlers to come along in a long time. Now, his character was named Bray Wyatt, but the real guy's name is William Rotunda. His dad was a very famous wrestler called IRS. Now, William Rotunda started Sorry about that. He started his career in WWE as a guy named Husky Harris. Very forgettable. He was part of this group called the Nexus, but he wasn't really part of it. Then he disappeared for a while and came back in Florida Championship Wrestling as a cult leader named Bray Wyatt. And oh my God, was he amazing! He was charismatic in the microphone. He just had an aura about him. Yeah, his in ring work was good. I mean, not amazing, not Kenny Omega or Okada level, but he told a great story in the ring. Now, he was very, very over when he made it to the main roster as this cult leader. But it was kind of like Vince McMahon and the writing team didn't really know what to do with him. And this goes to Hollywood also, because Hollywood hates horror movies, but they love the money that horror movies make them. And the Wyatt family was a horror movie, and a much darker, edgier one than The Undertaker or any other wrestling bad guy was at the time. So they just kept dropping the ball with him. I mean, they gave him two title runs with the World Championship and a tag team run, but it was like they didn't really do anything with that. Then he disappeared for a while and came back again as Bray Wyatt, but as this freaked out, twisted Mr. Rogers kind of character. And he had all these puppets in his like Mr. Rogers TV show world, and each puppet represented a different part of his personality and past. Kind of like, this is a weird comparison, Christopher Robin and all of the characters in the Hundred Acre Wood. And then there was the other side of this demonic Mr. Rogers character called the Fiend. And the Fiend was terrifying. He would walk down to the ring with this lantern that looked like Bray Wyatt's head. And it was like saying that that version of him is dead and this demon is something that takes him over. They would do things like he had this feud with a guy named Seth Rollins, who is an amazing wrestler. And Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt thought him and Seth Rollins were buddies. And The Fiend was the one that had a problem with him. And they dropped the ball with his feud with Seth Rollins. They eventually put the World Championship on him, but then had him lose it in Saudi Arabia to Goldberg. Goldberg was a huge deal in the late 90s and early 2000s. Not a very good wrestler. It was all about the entrance with him and the aura of Goldberg. Then after that, they gave him another title run, but he lost it again. So they didn't know what to do with him. But his segments on Raw and SmackDown were amazing. Then he had this match with John Cena called the Firefly Funhouse, which is the most creative thing ever done in wrestling. You know how wrestlers have finishing moves like Hulk Hogan had the leg drop, Macho Man Randy Savage would jump off the top rope? Well, one of Bray Wyatt's finishing things was he was able to pull you into an alternate dimension where you would relive moments of your life if they happen another way. And that's what he did to a guy named John Cena, who is the biggest star in wrestling in the past 20 years. So after the John Cena thing, he had, again, they didn't really do anything with him. Then he had this thing with a great female wrestler called Alexa Bliss. And again, it was cool, but again, they didn't know what to do with it. Then he disappeared for a while again. That was my Mac telling me I have a text message, but I'm avoiding it because I'm doing this. But then again, after that, he had a feud with this guy named Randy Orton again. And again, they had him lose. Why? Who knows? Then he disappeared again for a very long time. He came back and did one final Firefly Funhouse. Now, the Firefly Funhouse promos and segments were these weird, amazing things where he would talk about aspects of his life and his views on things. And near the end of the very last episode, he was laying hands on his puppet friends, kind of like the way a minister would do. And that thing just went out. I'm going to be putting it back on for more light. Come on. There we go. So he was healing his puppet friends. Then after that, he disappeared again. And then he got fired by WWE, the company he had worked for many, many years. Now, there's this new company that I talked about, AEW, which is basically taking these indie stars who were amazing, guys from New Japan who were amazing, and giving them the spotlight on American television that they deserved. Now, Bray Wyatt is a free agent, and in about 90 days, he'll be able to sign with any company he wants. Now, AEW, like in my last video, they have CM Punk. Daniel Bryan is more than likely going to return, or Bryan Danielson, which is his real name. Bray Wyatt would make a perfect fit for this company because WWE has about 20 writers, but it doesn't matter what they think because it's all under the control of Vince McMahon, and he changes plans last minute all the time. From what I hear, AEW has about 6, maybe 4 writers who control things overall, but they give the wrestlers a lot of freedom when it comes to their characters and promos. And I think William Rotunda in this company would be magical. Okay, now that I've given his backstory, I'm going to tell you how I would book William Rotunda in AEW. And it all has to do with what I said about the last episode of the Firefly Funhouse when he was laying hands on his puppets. So AEW starts off. Now, they don't start off with matches, but this time they do. And it looks like a church setting. There's an organist, a choir, there's pupils, you know, all around them. And the choir starts singing the song, Are You Ready for a Miracle? And Bray Wyatt comes down to the pulpit dancing, everybody's singing, Are You Ready for a Miracle? He grabs the microphone, and the first words out of his mouth are, The devil is a liar. Now, in WWE, he had a puppet of his old boss, Vince McMahon, who was the devil. So he's making references to Vince McMahon every time he says the devil. He just says, The devil is a liar. The devil will promise you things. The devil, if you love jewelry, the devil will promise you a brass ring. The devil will tell you that he'll put the whole world in your hands. But the second you're close enough to take it, he'll snatch it away. He'll pull it away from you because the devil is a liar. And for years, I served the devil. For years, I did his bidding. But then I took my freedom. And I said to the devil, I'm going to tear your kingdom down. I'm going to destroy your universe. Vince McMahon refers to the WWE fans as the WWE universe. So he's basically telling his old boss, I'm going to make you pay for firing me. That's his first sermon. Next week, the show's going on. Then it's time for the second sermon. The church is a bit bigger now for the Reverend William Rotunda. Now, he has a real-life brother whose real name escapes me, but he was a character called Bo Dallas. I'll put his real name right here. Now, they never acknowledged that they're brothers on WWE, and it was kind of weird because we all knew they were brothers. There's the picture of them with Sting when they were kids, but they never let them work together. Now, Bo Dallas is great on the mic and very good in the ring, but they never really believed in him on the main roster. So, second sermon of the Reverend William Rotunda is, family's the most important thing in the world. What good is a man if he doesn't take care of his family? Now, sometimes we have the family that we choose, but then there's our blood family. I was good to the family I chose, but I wasn't good to my blood. I let the devil have his way with my blood. I have a brother, and I let the devil do what he wants to him. I never laid a finger to help him. I could have saved him. I could have protected him. But I never did it. And now I'm going to ask my brother for his forgiveness. Bo Dallas comes out. They hug. They embrace. He is now part of the Church of Rotunda. Third sermon is all about being the Good Shepherd. Now, before Bray Wyatt comes out, Bo Dallas, who is very good on... I keep going back and forth from their WWE names to their real names. I'm sorry about that, but you're a fan if you're watching this, so you get what I'm saying. So, Bo Dallas opens up the church by getting everybody hyped up. Everybody's hyped up. And then the Reverend William Rotunda comes in and says, today's sermon is about being a good shepherd. Now, a good shepherd, if he has 99 sheep and one of them walk away, a good shepherd will go after that lost sheep and pull him back into the fold. Now, sometimes that one sheep that gets away, he's always a little rebellious. And a good shepherd knows he's got to discipline his sheep sometime. Now, if you're not a wrestling fan, in WWE with the Wyatt family, he had these members, and one of the members was a guy named Braun Strowman, who's this big, massive guy, and him and Bray Wyatt had a feud. So he keeps, and one thing, Bray, wow, I'm doing it again. Braun Strowman used to wear a black sheep mask. Keep that in mind. So Bray Wyatt is talking about, being a good shepherd, how sometimes you gotta discipline that one sheep. He goes up to Bo Dallas and says, "Brother, tell everyone what we used to call back home that one sheep that would always get away." And Bo Dallas says, "Well, big brother, we used to call that sheep the black sheep." Then Braun Strowman comes out. Now, Braun Strowman, whose, again, real name escapes me, I'll put it right here, is a very funny, charismatic guy. So he comes out, Bo Dallas, Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt, William Rotunda, all hug and embrace each other. And he is now the third member of the Church of Rotunda. Now, think about all the fun things you can do with William Rotunda as a minister. Let's say there's a wrestler who's been injured and they're ready to come back to in-ring action. Don't let anybody know. I mean, people are going to know they're ready because fans do that. But on the show, they're not ready. So you have, like, I don't know, Jungle Boy Jack Perry is injured his leg. So you have him come out in a wheelchair with Luchasaurus and Marco Spud. And, they bring him up to the stage. And Bray Wyatt, William Rotunda, lays hands on him, heals Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And he gets up and starts walking. There's just so much you can do, I think, with that whole fun segment. Adam Page, one of the best wrestlers going today. His whole storyline right now is he's lacking self-confidence to go up against Kenny Omega for the World Championship. And Adam Page is also hanging out with this group called the Dark Order. There used to be a cult like the Wyatt family, but they were always more funny. Now they're just buddy-buddy with Adam Page. So Adam Page could be having a championship match against Kenny Omega. The Dark Order brings him out to get, prayed over for the match. Now, Adam Page also likes drinking in real life. Not an alcoholic, but on the show, it's kind of hinted at that he might be an alcoholic. So there could be a whole thing where they bring him out to be healed of alcoholism. Bray Wyatt lays hands on him. He's about to fall back. Dark Order catches him. They pull him up. Bray Wyatt prays for him again. Falls down. He's ready for his match with Kenny Omega. Now, I'm not sure who he would feud with in the ring, but I think these segments would be so much fun to watch. Well, those are just my thoughts. I'm going to ask you to do me two big favors. If for some reason you like this video, I'm going to ask you to hit that like button. And if you're feeling really, really generous, please hit that subscribe button. And one more thing. If you like me putting out wrestling content and how I would book things, apart from my, movie thoughts and scripts for pitches, please comment in the comment section and let me know. Let me know what you think about the Reverend William Rotunda. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.